You know, the worst time to get the hiccups is when you're about to start recording. Their preparation for tomorrow's festival is moving right along at the Friday Shrine. Vans and pickup trucks are bringing in tents and equipment, and the village youth group and some middle-aged men are unloading them. I heard Vika Shama's really sick. Hope she's okay. I heard she didn't go to school again today. Hope she gets better soon. Dr. Ari, how's Rika Shama doing? Well, she had a bad cold, but she's starting to get better. She still needs to take it easy, though. I just want to see them. And tell them to stay in bed. I think Satoko Chan is sick too. With both of them staying home and being sick together, I'm sure they can help them play around. Considering they got sick at the same time, Rika Shama and Satoko Chan are really close, huh? Kamiyoshi-san, Dr. Ari just told us that Rika Shama and Satoko Chan are starting to get better. Oh, I see, that's good. By the way, about tomorrow's performance, you don't think she'll be able to do it, do you? She says she's going to anyway. If you asked her, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to oblige. But as a doctor, even if she didn't have a fever today, I'd rather not let her do it. That's no good. Your son, because she must get better, but she's still to stay in bed. Well, then we can't force her and then see her collapse during the ceremony. People will say it's the curse of her shield. Well, the villagers are really worried. They say the emperor might be cursed again this year. Besides, the Satoko Hojo-chan and Rika Shama, you know. Some people are imagining some horrible things. Wait, Rika Shama is the reincarnation of Oyoshio-sama. If she was cursed, the whole village would perish. Don't even suggest things like that. No, you're right. I'm sorry. Dr. Ari, can I go see them? Please let them rest for a while. They're recovering and they're in an age where they'll want to play. Someone visited them with you too stimulated and they're sure to get out of bed. I see, I guess I shouldn't. Doctor, please take care of them, alright? Not just Rika Shama, but Satoko-chan too. Really? That's surprising. Oops. Hiccups are still there, great. Or your son always asks us if she doesn't even see Satoko-chan, but she just asks me to take care of Satoko-chan too. Sure, absolutely, I'll make sure both Rika-chan and Satoko-chan are better. You can count on me. If something happens, people will say it's the curse of Hiroshio-sama. Hey, Dr. Ari, don't you think it's foolish to talk about things like curses when we're in the late 1980s? People will have gone to the moon. Yes, I do. I'm gonna take a drink right here. Yeah, a little bit. During the damn conflict, we use stories like that for our own needs. The damn conflict is over now. As long as we keep talking about the curse, the damn conflict will never end. Are you saying that Satoko-chan dies? People will say it's the curse of the damn conflict. The damn conflict is over. If a village gets cold, it's the elders don't have to worry about her. That's all. I already know what your son wants to say and what to actually say. If I made her, she might get angry. This is more than enough. Wait, what? This is more than enough. Okay. And when she talks about the damn conflict, she doesn't just mean the war they waged against the construction itself. She's also including the Hojo family, which ostracized after it was over. She's saying the damn conflict is over, including everything that happened as a result of it, and that's why she told me to take care of Satoko-chan. I'm sure Satoko-chan won't appreciate your concern. That little rascal will ever understand no person's feelings. Oh, your son left laughing. Almost the only one watching her leave. Kimiyoshi-san and the elders did the same. They all understand what Oryo-san wanted to say. The damn conflict is over now. Satoko-chan is a healthy girl. She's down with the fever. It must be a terrible cold. Dr. Ari, please take care of them. Since we aren't allowed to visit them, please let them both know how worried we all are. Sure, they'll be happy to hear that. I've honored myself. The Kano-san's more likely than planning something for tomorrow, taking advantage of people's belief in the curse. I can't let that happen. The curse of Hiroshio-sama won't end before it can happen for a 5th time. I'm sure of that. Only if she couldn't accomplish the 48-hour operation, how long he would need help from someone else. Or she called up both Kumagai and the old man from forensics and told them everything. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is a dangerous bridge we're crossing here. If I get a simple warning, that's okay, but if I get reprimanded, they'll probably take away my pension. Oishi. I hear always gather your colleagues at the Mahjong parlor next door and threaten them every time you have a dangerous commission. It's the same old thing. Alright? God, these hiccups are annoying. I guess what she said, why don't you say if you don't want to lose your pension and leave while I can count to 10 with more comfort in your voice like you usually do. Usually you say that way, just as it sounds right. Well, this seriously is dangerous, Kuma-chan. Are you really prepared to lose your pension? Why don't you count to 10 then? God, why did I get hiccups right before recording? Why don't you count to 10 then? Fine, I'll count. If you don't want to lose your retirement money, leave before I count to 10. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I gotta come with you. You're serious. But still, are you sure you're okay with it? Yes, I'm really psyched up from what I heard from Akasaka-san the other day. I became a policeman because I believe in justice. Someday, I want to be able to talk. I want to talk about the things I've been through, like you. Oh, not like you, like Akasaka-san does. A dangerous mission, that sounds fantastic. Besides, your ideas never fell before. So if you think this operation will succeed, then I'm all for it. How nice it is to be young. You know, Akasaka-san's become quite the inspiration for him. He keeps talking about how he wants to be involved in secret investigations now. Oh, well, it's nice to be young, I guess. And what about you? Man, actually, unless I help you, this operation will succeed. I've been neglecting my health all these years. Frankly, I don't think I have much longer to live. As a man, I want to do something grand before I die. My, you two sure are fearless. That's what you declare, Richi, and went the door. Okay, that must be a Mosong thing. I don't know what that is. What do you say to what you said? As a man, I can't refuse. If you're going to cut something, cut it right in the middle. That's what you always say. It's not wrong. I get it. If you're next in the put in line, I'll be responsible. I'll have to make some preparations first. You want to start this early tomorrow morning, right? I have to check with both forensics and autopsy department. Oh, wait, when all this is over, you get to do something big, okay? Of course, look forward to it, but please make sure to be careful who you talk to, alright? They told me there are some spies at the police station. Don't worry, I know who I could trust. Count on me for that at least. Alright, I'm fired up. My detective spirit is burning bright. I'd think it was all night to come to a decision, but those two had decided immediately. He couldn't help but question himself. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take a few minute break here. Maybe get rid of the hiccups, hopefully. Okay, I think my hiccups calmed down a little bit. Okay, I have some here, so I'm going to get going. Kuma-chan, please take the old man home. Thank you for coming here on your day off. No, don't worry about that. It's been a while since I got my beloved boy on land in all the years of my life. This is the first big stage to really test my manhood. I'm not afraid. I'm going to enjoy this. Thank you very much, old man. Kuma-chan, too. We should think me up to send them off, although they couldn't hear. She stopped by a flower shop. He bought a bouquet of bloom flowers. Usually the purple ones are the most popular, and she was fond of that color too, but today he didn't buy purple flowers, but used usual white balloon flowers instead. With a bouquet in his hand, he headed to the cemetery across the flower shop. The date was June 18th. The real anniversary would be tomorrow, but as always, she had to work on with Higurashi every year. He usually commemorated it on the previous day instead. It was the day before the anniversary of the death of the old man, the one who she considered a best friend, a brother, and a father. Every year, I promise you that I'll find your right arm, but still haven't had any luck yet. Or she spoke to the grave. He laid the bouquet of white flowers down on top of it, but I finally got the chance to get close to the truth. You know, it's kind of funny. As it turns out, the Sansaki family has something to do with it. I kept promising you year after year that I'd bring her you here and have her grovel an apology, but I was so wrong this whole time. I don't know what to say. You'd probably smack me if you were here. I thought I knew the winning tiles, and after countless safe discards, I got slammed with that bad hit. If I hadn't made that assumption, I'm focused on filling my hand, and I might have been able to get a big one. I haven't made any progress at all. It's the same with Mahjong. I'm a fool for getting ideas in my head and then not doubting them even a bit. When she already had a vague idea, the way Ari had phrased it, he could already guess. There was no dark secret behind the elements dismemberment murder. The events that followed were separate incidents. That particular murder was an individual incident and had nothing to do with anything else. Since the main culprit was the only one who wasn't caught, always she needed someone to blame, and the mysterious Onozaki family was the perfect target. The drama revenge that she believed in never existed. I'm thinking I'm doing something really dangerous. Considering the risk, there isn't much in terms of reward. If anything, I might find out the truth. But I feel like I can finally forgive myself. She bowed deeply to the grave. And after he footsteps behind him, it had to be someone else who knew the old man. Then That person can't come on the day of Tanagashi every year either, so they come on the day before, just like Oishi does. And they always bring blue hydrangea, I don't know what that is. Purple bloom flowers, and those blue flowers don't go well together. And that's the reason why Oishi always picks the white ones. Usually the whatever are already there by the time he arrives, but it was Oishi his secret meeting with Kumagai early in the morning. He came straight to the graveyard afterward and arrived before this person did. Visiting a grave isn't a race, it's a spiritual matter. Oishi was curious what the other person who brings flowers every year, so he looked up. Well, are you visiting someone's grave too? Oishi stated the obvious, but from one glance he could guess everything. Upon seeing the blah 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 in her hands, it all made sense. Oh my, aren't you supposed to be working? What are you doing here? Akane Sanosaki laughed as she handed a bouquet of blah 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 to her daughter, Shion. Shion, not knowing what to do, was caught between her mother and Oishi. Hey, how long are you going to stand there? Come on, move over. Oishi moved over as told and spoke, so you're the one leaving the blah 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 every year. Aren't they beautiful? They're from my backyard. Blah blah blah, beautiful in June. Your balloon flowers are fairly unusual. White ones, they're nice. Miss Oishi, excuse me, can I put the flowers down? Shion knelt down in front of the grave and got the flowers ready. She put the blah 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 in the vase alongside the bloom flowers. The flowers looked beautiful in the vase together, reminding their onlookers that summer was about to start. What a coincidence, they match very well. It makes a nice contrast with the white and blue. I saw the blue blah 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 every year I came. I thought blue flowers wouldn't go well with purple ones. I see them, we should get along just fine. Yeah, I guess. What's the matter? Anything unusual in the X-rays? You're being unusual quiet today and it's disturbing. Only think that might be it since you've been good to us. I'll bring some blah blah to your grave too, don't worry. Oh, by the way, you still owe us at one of our shops, don't you? I'll bring a bill too. Oh boy, you two never run out of things to say, do you? Well, I don't plan on leaving this world quite yet. It won't be long until my retirement, but I'm still going strong. That's good then. As a citizen of Okonomiya, I'm glad to hear such reliable words. Our conversation should have been coded in social courtesies, yet just felt a little bit off about it. Can you tell me one thing? The guardians of the old man, the site manager, they didn't get along well, did they? So why bring flowers for him? No, we didn't get along at all. We were our mighty enemies, right, Shion? Yeah, that old geezer was a bastard that pissed me off. I bit him on the elbow. No, I didn't bite him. I bit him and I elbowed him in his stomach. I scratched up his car with the 10-yen coin. Shion, that the blah blah of limitations isn't up yet. Shion stuck out her tongue and hid behind her mother in embarrassment. So if you hated him that much, why did he come here? Well, the damn conflict is over. Although he was our enemy, we did many unpleasant things to him too. Well, you don't get it. The war's over now. Even in a rugby game, once the game is over, no one is on the opposing sides. Nothing more than that. Akane said it as though it was a normal thing, but we just couldn't understand. First of all, they hated each other. They spat at each other. How could they feel like bringing flowers to his gravesite? However, Akane said that it was normal. Their moral standards weren't matching up. Actually, you're the one that can't understand. I think the damn conflict has ended yet, and your head is still going, isn't it? Well, no, it's over for me. I can't even imagine hearing all that noise anymore. You gotta be kidding me. And then what's wrong with the Sanosaki family visiting his gravesite? Come on, move over. I brought something for him, too. Akane took out a small package from my bag and put it down in front of the grave. I see that package every year. What's in it? This is ohagi, specially made by the Virago. Drinkers usually don't like sweets, so she made them without sugar. Are you saying that your son made ohagi for the site managers every anniversary? She does it every year. You did just say that you see it every time you come here, didn't you? Or she was stunned, or you was the biggest hardliner in the Kafuchi Guardian, there's no question about that. Or she had believed for a long time that she was the mastermind behind the old man's murder. Because of that, he just couldn't believe that she had been making ohagi every year for his anniversary. And don't give me that look. Listen, don't do this anymore, okay? Do what? Pretend that the Sanosaki family shouldn't visit the site manager's grave. It won't be long now until it's 1990. By then, even the Emperor might be dead. How much longer are we playing to drag out this war, which has already ended? Please, I don't want to think about the damn conflict. There's nothing better than peace. The government was at fault. They should think about what they've done, but we are at fault too. That's why we have regrets. And then when days are done, that's it. There's no point in dragging them out. We need to wrap up the era of our forefathers and young people to create a new one. What happened to us is very unfortunate, and I regret that the old man had to die. If he was still alive, we could have shared a toast together and made up, but he's dead, so we can't reconcile. I think that's very sad. Well, what happens when someone dies, but you're still alive? That's right, I am, and so are you. And then maybe a day will come when we can get along, huh? Well, I don't know about that. Sean, why don't you give this to the priest and then wait in the car, okay? Sure. Akari took out an envelope from her pocket and gave it to Shion. Shion took the envelope and bowed to Uchi and then ran off. During the damn conflict, I thought she was such a feisty little girl. She sure has grown up. How long do you think it's been since then? She's hit puberty and we even went bra shopping together. She isn't a little girl anymore. That's how long it's been. Yeah, many years have passed. Time extends for young people. Have diluted for the old folks. The old ones are the ones who don't change, but young people keep growing, and before we know it, they pass us by, then we simply withdraw ourselves and watch them over. See how it works? Yeah, I guess. I can't believe I'm getting a talking to from the Dark Princess of Shishibone, Akane Sonosaki. Hey, I can't believe you still remember that name. I'm a lady, blah, blah, blah. I'm a lady of Shishibone nowadays, you know. I'd appreciate it if you kept that name to yourself. Yeah, I guess it's a damn conflict's over now, huh? That's right, it's all over. The two of them watched Yun and the priest exchange words in front of the main temple building. Both were silent, but the air between them was comforting. There was no breeze, and the cabbage-white butterfly flitted around them. You're supposed to be at work, but how about around? You're from fresh, cold sake? Maybe not today. I have to drive, and so do you, right? That's too bad. Well, maybe next time, Yeah, next time. Something that had been sitting inside of Wishi for a long time had started to dissipate. Something that had coagulated. Okay, what's melting away? I better keep going. Your daughter's wedding too, right? Yeah, she is. We've gotten through a lot, but she's forgot about it all. How about that? We'll have a party one of these days. We will. Did that skip something? No. Okay, I don't think so. Akane turned around with a big smile on her face, but all of a sudden it changed into an impish grin. Hey, Officer Wishi, since we met up just now, I got a traffic ticket yesterday, and I was so mad that I ripped it in half. Do you think you could do something about that? Just go to the nearest police station for that. Maybe I can give you a priority spot in the waiting line. What are friends for, huh? Their laughter echoed in the blue sky. That was a nice little interesting sequence. I'm probably going to take another break here to catch my breath for a minute. Okay, here we go. Thank you for waiting, Nomura-san. No, sorry, at this moment. No. Okay. The moment I'm talking to one over the phone. So how things going? Going well. The festival's tomorrow. I see, that's good. First Lieutenant Tomataki will get into an accident tomorrow night. H-173, the master was supposed to be destroyed, will be administered to him, and no matter what happens, it'll be a very pitiful end. What an interesting opening. We've already finished our 40th proceedings. It'll show that Lieutenant Colonel Irie was trying to sell your recent book foreign country so they can continue it. And Tomotake's murder is a part of that. Yes, that will be the first step for the board of directors to become suspicious of the Irie Institute. We'll have to take care of all that, so don't worry. Also, regarding that, what should we do if it happens? If what happens? I mean, what if First Lieutenant Tomatake agrees to join us? He is included in the takeover operation, is he? Well, no, because he's an auditor for the board. If he becomes our ally, that might be beneficial to us. According to our analysis, even if he changes his allegiance, there won't be much for us to gain. Why add an unnecessary word to the operation? You're right, sorry about that. I thought we might be able to use it for something, which is why I suggested it. We'll go with the original plan then. I think that would be better. I'll get in touch with you again. Goodbye. For a while, I kept holding the telephone receiver, lost in thought. Then I put it down and I dialed a number that I'd become very familiar with. Hello, Economy Hotel Okonomiya. How may I assist you? Hello. Could you connect me to room 406, the one belonging to Tomatake? Please tell him Takano was calling. Sure, I'll connect you. One moment, please. The telephone operator put me on hold, leaving me behind only electronic music. I waited for about a minute, and the operator came back on again. I'm sorry, the guest room 406 is not in his room right now. Not in his room right now. Would you like to leave a message? That's okay. I already left a few of them. Do you know when he left the hotel? Do you know when he'll be back? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. I see. I'll call again. I put down the phone before the operator finished speaking. It's the third time I've tried calling him. I left a message telling him to call me back, but he hasn't. Why? Is he out taking photographs by himself, or is he waiting for me behind the shrine where we usually meet? He would think I would actually come all the way here expecting him to be waiting for me. Even I'm surprised myself. People are in the middle of setting up tomorrow's festival. Tents are being put up for food stalls and preparations for various events are taking place. It's almost too noisy for me. What with people shouting as they work, posting noise on the batteries of the stalls. Soon I reached the back of the shrine before realizing that this is probably the best view in the whole village. This is where Jiro-san and I usually meet. Just maybe he's here waiting for me. Of course, that's just wishful thinking. God will never grant my wishes. He only has a bit of fun by testing me. I looked out at the village below, letting the breeze blow through my hair. He usually follows me around while he stays at himself, while he persistently asks if I want to go out to eat, go for a walk, or take photographs with them, but he hasn't done any of that this visit. His behavior towards me has changed. Maybe it's because he heard about the horrible impression I left with the new board of directors. Maybe he thinks I'm a mad scientist because of that incident. I can feel that he's gradually losing interest in me, but I have my complaints too. When I don't want him around, he's so persistent. But when I need him to listen to me, I can't get a hold of him. But if I did get through to him, what would I even talk about? What could I talk about to him? Right after talking to someone about the plan to assassinate him, why would he even answer my call? I'm simply running wildly, and when I reach the point of no return, I want to be forgiven, and I want him to do that for me, just because he always does whatever I want him to do, and he shows up whenever I need him. Who would forgive someone like me, someone who has nowhere to go but hell? Would he forgive me out of sympathy? No way. While he'll be surprised, he'll do his job and harass me. I am a member of the SDF after all, so what I'm doing is committing treason. I've been thinking about him for a lot for the past few days, and just now I realize something. He's not attractive at all as a man. He has no sense of humor or good taste. He has absolutely nothing. Well, he has a belly, but there's something appealing about him. He doesn't care about my schedule. He's persistent, and when I treat him nicely because I'm in a good mood, he becomes even more persistent. There's really nothing good about him. Despite his age, he tells me things like how the last time he held a woman's hand was when he did folk dancing at some summer camp. Furthermore, he says those things to make me laugh. He's hopeless. But even more than anything, I can't stand when he completely ignores my feelings. I want to be alone sometimes. I don't want to do anything sometimes, yet he drags me out, completely ignoring how I feel. That's why even when I'm exhausted or I don't feel like doing anything, I end up going with them, which makes me laugh. I always thought that just wore me out, yet I want him to drag me around. I'll probably never feel this way again, yet he's not here. So I really believe I don't want to spend time with him. Maybe I just grown used to his abundant affection. When he took me on a date, I didn't want to do anything. I was in a bad mood at first, but after a while, I started to feel better and found myself having a lot of fun. If he was with me now, would he take me to photograph birds like always? Would he happily explain all this know-how, even though I didn't ask? That'd be very boring and troublesome, but that's what I honestly want right now. Do I see my grandpa in him? I love my grandpa. He's given me purpose to life, or to live. I needed him. I loved Uncle Koizumi. He helped me with my dream. I needed him. After both of them died, maybe I just sought their aspects in him. Am I starving for a protector? Maybe I'm so traumatized by my parents' accident that I need to have someone nearby to watch over me all the time. Maybe I'm still immature. My inner child is throwing a fit because she can't put together toys, saying that if she's going to be broken anyway, she's going to break it herself. It won't be just my problem. I'll be bringing a huge, irreversible tragedy. But that's the only way to prove the truth of my grandfather's work. That belief allowed me to prepare up to this point. In just a few days, the top members of the government will be scrutinizing my grandfather's article. And terrified by the worst-case scenario he predicted, they'll regret canceling our research and neglecting countermeasures as they pass their final resolution. That's when my grandfather's article will become truth in his great work uplifted in his name carved into the pages of history, and then he'll become God in eternal existence, and now will reveal the God of worship that Oyoshio Sama be, that kingdom itself a syndrome casting down the earth. I'm going to complete the fifth curse of Oyoshio Sama with Jiro-san's death as well as my own. I'll become the one who curses, not the one who is cursed. I'll be in the position to test instead of being tested. I will ascend to godhood. I'm going to make curse a reality, and I'm going to kick the God of this place off her throne. And then grandfather and I will be together forever. Gods don't get tested. Fate doesn't test gods. No grief will separate us. I will be with my grandpa forever. After that, we're going to work on our research together in that study, filled with the smell of formalin. A scene from happier days. Grandpa's at his desk writing down something. I'm in a good mood, lying on my stomach on the carpet right behind him, flapping my legs and humming a tune. I help him with his research by organizing his books before playing with blocks. To return to those times is my only wish. Of course, if I could go back that far, I want my parents to be alive too. If I could play my grandpa's books while listening to my mother's cooking in the kitchen and my father flipping through his newspaper, that would complete my happy world. It would be my ideal childhood. That world doesn't have the door to the outside world. But that world doesn't have the door to the outside world. Okay, so I can't go over to my friend's house, because if I did go to my friend's house, there wouldn't be anybody there when I returned. Nobody, because they all died in that train accident. So I don't want an outside world. I want to stay in my house with my parents' grandfather. Childhood was better days. I am a doctor after all. I can analyze myself. I know what I'm wishing for is proof of my immaturity. But if I know that much, then why do I still long for a parental figure in Jiro's son? As I plan an operation which includes his death, I'm still trying to hang on to him. And would I betray people so I could become a god, then I should remain a villain until my final moments. But if I'd rather be a lonely little girl, then I should remain modest and humble until my final moments. Either way, if it is my way of life, nobody can criticize it for me, because if I believe it is right, then all I can do is go on without listening to such criticism. But I still can't decide, so I want somebody to criticize for me. Nobody has ever criticized my way of life. That's why I want to hear someone do it. I want someone to tell me my way of life is wrong. I want Jiro-san to tell me I've done such a stupid thing, and I want him to slap me. Such masochistic desires speak a great deal as to how I'm rejected in my present self. Am I really still belonging for a parent? I'm too old to call myself immature. Even if I do, nobody else will, no matter how immature I am on the inside, people will treat me as a grown person. They will say I possess an adult responsibility and proper judgment. If they brought me in this far already, then I'll be judged for the devil, which I still plead not to judge my immature self as grown up. Am I going to act that pathetically even if I'm the devil? I'm already going to hell. Yeah, I can't completely become a devil. I hate the idea of hell. Yeah, I refuse to try and repent. My mind can only flow now like a blood drifting as I drown. If only Jiro-san was here, my mind would clear up as I played along with this insensitive chatter. Why isn't he around when I need him the most? This is last year, so I'll have to spend time with him. I hate how immature I am, becoming so insecure just because he isn't around. I found myself before the offertory box. I came here when the Irie Clinic construction had ended and the research at the Art Institute was about to begin. I remember how bravely I challenged the god of this place. I was full of hope and ambition. After going through many hardships, I finally came this far, and I even felt I would become a god. I did so in front of... What was that? I did so in front of the god of this place. I can vividly recall my grandfather telling me a story similar to that. Okay. That's right, it was the story of the Tower of Babel. There was only one language in the world. All people lived in one place with one well. And in display of their authority, they started to build a tower that would reach heaven. God got angry because these people had forgotten how to show respect to him. He believed all men gathered to commit such in the front because they all shared one language and one well. So their communion was shattered. People were thrown into disorder, and they were given many different languages so they wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. As they couldn't communicate with each other, many left in the tower, which challenged heaven, fell to ruin. Something like that anyway. I'm not sure what the lesson is, but this is what my grandfather explained to me. Building a tower that reaches up to heaven is the greatest challenges for humans, but also a challenge to God. The challenge God was truly sinful, but as humans we couldn't help but test out and trodden peak. It's not easy to build a tower that's high enough to reach heaven. While they're building the tower, the people will fall into disharmony and lose their mutual understanding then. Once they started with their united will still in a disarray, this applies to not just a group of people, but be applied to that one person as well. No matter how solid their will is, the closer they come to heaven, the more limits God imposes on them. So even our own wills are sure to waver at some point. It's just too arrogant for humans to think that they can always carry out their original intentions. And they must have been what my grandfather was thinking deep down. I'm sure he lost hope many times since nobody ever recognized the value of his research, yet they believed in himself. Yeah, he believed in himself, and he believed that one day his work would be appreciated. Maybe that was his wish rather than reaching heaven. My grandfather realized he wouldn't be able to complete his research, and maybe he was trying to find where he could compromise. Humans can't build a tower that reaches heaven, but the story of the Tower of Babel, or Babel, or Babel, whatever, is still around. They didn't reach heaven, but it was still to the story of the tower that challenged God. According to the story, the tower was left behind with nobody to work on it. The incomplete tower stayed in that place for a long time, never achieved minutes ago, but if someone were to see it, they would realize how great it was that someone accepted that challenge and praised their name. I took over the tower from my grandfather and tried to make it reach heaven, but I ended up succumbing to this same fate. And if it is going to be destroyed anyway, I will try to destroy it myself. What am I doing? Anyway, if I hadn't tried to continue my grandfather's research, his work on human salvage syndrome would have remained forever. Even if it was an empty tower that nobody ever visited, if somebody did come by, they would praise whoever attempted that challenge. They would have praised my grandfather. But I took over his work and then built a tower even closer to heaven, which made God angry, and the tower is not going to be destroyed. If the tower become a pile of rubble, then the Iron Institute shut down, all of his records will be destroyed. My grandfather's wish for his work to be appreciated by someone will never be granted. I tried to make my grandfather an eternal existence. Yeah, I ended up making it an impossibility. How can I call myself Miyoto now? Instead of inheriting the 1, 2, 3 from my grandfather and continuing to count 3 to 4, I reduced it all to 0. If it wasn't for me, my grandfather's work would have remained an empty tower. It would have stayed in this world forever, but I ruined it. I did that. I can feel myself sweating. The sweat reminds me of that Dunstan and Exerable. When did I make a mistake? Where did I go wrong? It wasn't me when I came here. It was before that. I started to walk down the wrong path before that. I put myself in my grandfather's spot. I know my grandfather was working on a great challenge. He built a mighty tower, and it was supposed to continue to stand there for some reason, or for someone to appreciate it. Grandfather definitely said he wanted his work to be valued by someone even after his death. But I misunderstood. Somewhere along the way, I made a wrong turn. I misinterpreted grandfather's wish, and I ruined it. I ruined everything. I tried to make it him an external existence. Yeah, I destroyed him. Grandfather built an eternal tower. Yeah, I raised it. Where did I make a mistake? What went wrong? It's obvious. My grandfather counted to 3, and with that, it was complete. I simply tried to do more with addition, and everything collapsed, and now all of it's ruined. I shouldn't have tried to count to 4. I shouldn't have done anything. Besides, grandfather didn't even ask me to continue his research. A little girl shouldn't play in this dark study. Go outside and play with your friends. I remember my grandfather telling me things like that. But I refused to sit in the study so I could help him. And he stopped telling me to play outside, and he just enjoyed having my company while he worked. But when we first met, he used to say things like that. And then what? Living with my grandpa was the first mistake I made. Then what? When I escaped the orphanage, I shouldn't have called Grandpa. I shouldn't have found a 10-yen coin. I shouldn't have asked Grandpa to help me. And now I remember. Well, now I know where I belong. Bang. Bang, bang, bang. I noticed the metal striking. I was getting closer and closer. I'm not allowed to fall asleep. I wasn't asleep. I was just had my eyes closed. I was all sorry. Blank, damn you, blank. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I'm sorry. Blank, come on. Blank, damn it. Blank. Bang, 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 bang. Don't kick. I'm afraid of the metal sound. Please don't kick. Yeah, I'm not being kicked, but the noise is kicking me. So please don't kick the metal fence, please. My body's getting cracked. My body is getting cracked. All that dark, itchy, and painful things soaking into these cracks of the filth, prickling, feel horrible. It's soaking into my chest, gathering together. I desperately try to resist so that it won't touch my heart. But the dirtiness and the itching drawn together more and more. My whole chest is soaked in. Soon enough, my face will be swallowed, even joining this dirtiness and itching. I try desperately to hold my breath so that at least my heart won't be soaked with it. Blank, damn it, blank, bang, 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 bang. I can't hold my breath any longer. I drown in my ocean of muck, and yet as I take it on muck, my heart desperately struggles not to be tainted by it to rise above it until my heart sinks to the seas of grime. Only creatures that have lived on land will gasp and suffer the pain of drowning as they long to return to dry land. The creatures that have always lived in the ocean never drown. Grandpa won't come help me. That is the best thing for me and him both. I am blank. See, when I stop struggling, there's no more noise. I don't have to hear that scary metal noise. Is that a roar? Yeah, I needed to borrow strength to scream in order to come back to the present world. My body's all sweaty. It feels dirty, itchy, and painful. It reminds me of that day. I can feel welts coming on the sweat that crawls down my skin. No, it's just a delusion. It can't be itchy because all that is long over. I take a bath every day. I scrub my body until it turns drawn red. So not even the slightest drop of that horrible filth could possibly remain. Can't help it. I remember the filth. I only get rid of it by scratching my arms so hard it leaves marks. I can't get rid of the itching. I can't get rid of the filth. Of course I can't. I am a filthy existence. Grandpa should have never saved someone like me. Meeting me made him unhappy. I shouldn't have existed. I shouldn't have been born. I should have stayed inside that metal fence and spent my whole life in there. I need to go back inside it. I wish I had never left. And that place is where I belong. Corner me with that horrible metal noise, crush me with that felt itchiness and pain, and then kill me so I'll never meet Grandpa. Is that your wish? Yes, much like those left behind at the top of Babel's crumbling tower, or Icarus unable to reach heaven only to fall. That is my final wish. Bring me back inside that metal fence and give me back the fate that's suitable for my filthy existence. The wish of a liar will never come true, but I'm not a liar. You have spoken your true wish once, yet you have yet realized that's your greatest wish, and I cannot grant that wish just yet. Are you saying that the punishment we sinful humans face with challenging God? You should already know the strength of your desire is what creates the future. You lack that strength. Are you saying I haven't taken myself enough? Well, even the gates of heaven remain shut for someone like me, not fully committed like me. Alright, I'm taking another few minute break here, guys. Get a damn drink or something. Okay, here we go. Rika-chan, Satoko-chan. How are you feeling? It's sorry. As Akasaka warned me, I have to be careful. Akasaka-san opened the door silently. How you doing when it's bustling outside, huh? Yeah, everyone is busy getting ready for tomorrow's festival, but I brought some shaved ice for you, courtesy of the refreshment stand committee. Let's have some. Thank you for that. I'll have some. Akasaka-san is wearing a t-shirt, but he's still getting drenched with sweat. All the windows have been shut, and he can't even open the curtains. So it's very hot inside, but even accounting for that, he's still sweating like mad. Look at how sweaty you are. It sure is hot in here. No, I was exercising a little. Of course, I try to keep very quiet. I'm just staying prepared for anything, that's all. A little exercise to help refresh people. I'm sure you've been with it under a lot of stress for the last few days. You must be exhausted mentally, too. No, I'm used to this kind of thing, but I really do appreciate you bringing in some stuff. I could take a small happy child as he ate the strawberry flavor shaped ice. So, has there been anything yet? Have you heard from Tomotake's-san? No, nothing yet. But Takano-san was saying she can't get a hold of him. That's right, he changed his hotel, huh? You think she's noticed something? No, I don't think she has. I told her he's probably just going around taking pictures. Well, it's only a matter of time before she becomes suspicious. There will be a strong wind soon, one way or another. Dr. Ari, please be very careful. Yeah, of course. Well, by the way, I just saw what she said. He told me to tell you something. I explained the 48-hour operation to Akasaka-san. Akasaka-san seemed impressed with the notion, especially because I told him it came from the girls. That's a fantastic idea. That'll shake up our enemy quite a bit. I'll give the Tomotake's-san a big opportunity to find something out too. So when the operation is going to take place, that will be decided when they meet with the Wuichi-san tonight. But since we don't have much time, and maybe as early as tomorrow morning, I see it's pretty stressful just waiting for a battle to begin. If there is something we can do, we might as well just do it. Your time in Himiso was limited too, so how much longer can you stay? I told Yuki that I should be home by midnight on Sunday, but if the situation changes, I might have to stay here longer. She's a policeman's wife, she'll understand. You can't even call her from here, huh? Sorry to put you in this situation. My damn dog just kicked my keyboard. Where was I now? Don't worry, it's not like we're newlyweds. She won't divorce me because we're not calling her every night. Although he says it will be easy to tell, Akasaka wants to hear the sound of her voice. So there has been any changes on your end? If there's anything you need, I'll bring it. I really don't need anything yet. Any changes, well, it's hard to say. There are just too many people going in and out of for the festival. Even there's someone suspicious among them, I can't tell. We should assume our enemies are hidden among them, so we should be on our guard. That sounds about right. By the way, the mountain dogs are starting to move just as you said. When I asked Okanogi about their plans, he said that he's raising the security level for the days surrounding the festival to take into account the possibility that the criminal might just use the 5th year of the curse to target Rika-chan. That matches the situation right now. It almost looks like the preparations officially and unofficially are going smoothly for tomorrow's festival. So you're saying tomorrow's going to be a festival in more ways than one then. If the 48-hour operation gets underway tomorrow morning, it'll be quite a turbulent day. Yes, everything will change starting tomorrow, June 19th, 1983, a tempestuous day that divides a peaceful world from a tragical one. The fate of the world will change on that day. I finished my secret meeting with Akasaka-san and left the wall, calling up the second floor window, pretending to dress the girls. When some villagers saw me do that, they asked how they're doing. They asked me about both girls, which made me very happy. What your son said yesterday is already spread among the villagers. In other words, the curse of Horatio someone may have already lifted even before tomorrow's festival. If nothing happens tomorrow, then this village is finally free from the curse and the ghost of the dam conflict. As we prepare for the upcoming battle, I realize that the extent of the responsibility we've taken on, but at the same time, that gives me strength. After greeting officials under the main tent, I ran into Takano-san as I headed back to the clinic. It's unusual for her to be here alone. If Tomotika-san was with her, I could understand, but she never came here by herself. For a moment, I thought she suspected the connection between me and Akasaka-san, but it doesn't seem that way. I'm relieved. This is unusual. What are you already doing? What are you doing here? Nothing really. I'm just taking a walk. I see it's a nice day today. I bet it's the perfect day for taking a walk. I wonder if Jiro-san is taking a walk too. Those words had a strange nuance to them. Takano-san normally only spends time with Tomotika-san out of politeness. At least that's how she's been acting, so when I heard her say that, I was a little surprised. Maybe so. He's from Tokyo. I'm sure he's enjoying the fresh air and beauty of Hinamizawa. Director, do you have any idea where Jiro-san went? No, I don't. He didn't come to the meeting last night. It was a good thing someone else was there to take his place, but he should have been there. He's neglecting his job, don't you think? This is going in the wrong direction. I have to change the subject. Well, I'm sure he needed a little break. I bet he wanted to be alone, just like you. Yeah, I can see that. I think that went well. She didn't ask about Tomotika-san after that. When I look around, I can imagine how lavish the festival is going to be tomorrow. Higurashi is the biggest festival of the year around here. It's grown on scale ever since the dam conflict ended, and this year the village festival is hitting a peak. I'm sure villagers of all ages will enjoy themselves tomorrow. Takano-san and I overlooked that heartwarming scene. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it will be fun. The conversation was very ironic. We both answered as indifferent as we spoke. I can hardly wait for the festival to start. Yeah, Fun Festival is about to begin. I noticed an indescribably bitter smile on her face. I hope it'll be a nice day tomorrow after all these preparations. It'll be a shame if it rains. They worked so hard to prepare for this grand festival. A little rain won't stop them. Yeah, I guess. There's a festival no matter what the weather, huh? Yeah, the festival will be grand. I'm sure of it. Oishi-san had agreed to participate. In other words, he was giving us a green light. Good job. I bet Sony has some difficulties. Nah, not really. They actually agreed pretty easily. Boy, how nice it is to be young. I was the only one who struggled to make a decision. Pitiful, huh? I can't turn back anymore. I'll give it everything I have. Oishi-san was always a man with a great presence. He seems pretty reliable when he's determined. This will work. The operation will be a success. The enemy is unthinkably strong, but we're going on the offensive first. It's like a sumo, right? No matter how huge your opponent may be, there's a chance that the entire match can be settled in an instant with a quick shift and stance during the opening rush. See, Rika, doesn't it feel reassuring to have this many people on her side? I don't intend on recruiting you anymore. I was almost ready to give up just a few days ago, but now I can't believe how much the situation has evolved. It might just be possible to change our fate after all. Rika, that's not good enough. You're right. I shouldn't have said we might change our fate. We will change it. We will win. We will defeat fate. In any case, this is the timing of our chapter is extremely important. What do you mean timing? We should act immediately. Tonight it will have been 48 hours since Rika-chan disappeared. The longer we wait, the better the position the enemy will be in, so we should act as soon as possible. That's true. If we're too careful, that will give them more time. Our defense ought to be cautious, but our offense ought to be bold. It's very reassuring that both of your seals of approval, so what about it, everyone? No objections. I stilled my resolve. I'm ready any time. Is it time yet? What do you think, Satoko? We should go with haste, of course, but right now maybe a little too hasty. If we are to surprise them, I think we should do it more carefully. A surprise attack should be taking place at night. Is there any better timing than now? Calm down, you're both right. Surprise attacks usually do happen at night. But look at this now. We're still up even though it's dark outside, right? Night attacks were more effective than when there's no electricity. And nowadays, surprise attacks don't always have to take place in the middle of the night. There's an even better time than that. Is there really a better time for a surprise attack? I understand a daybreak sortie, right? Sortie? Okay. Sortie, I don't know if I've ever heard that, but okay. Oh, you know some interesting terms, don't you? Is it true that the worst time to call someone is not in the middle of the night, but early in the morning? People can't even think straight when they're half asleep. A surprise attack at dawn, yeah, that's a great time to do it. Yeah, I think that'll be the most effective, knowing how to con us on it. It's more likely that she'll do something to make it look like the 5th year's curse, and what she'll try tomorrow night. It's normal to try and get plenty of sleep the night before. Oh, I know, the perfect time to spring my traps. A surprise attack at dawn, man, that sounds badass. I've always wanted to do something like that. I'm fired up. You're just like my men, my bearer son. Hey, does that mean I'm the only man who is involved who is a psyched? Oh my. Alright, ready then? The 48-hour operation should commence tomorrow at dawn. The question is how they will react. We'll be confusing them, and once we see their responsible attack, this is a raid. Okay, this is the leader of the club. I now decree that the 48-hour operation is now in effect. We will carry out our task at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'll get busy all of a sudden. All the members should prepare for an immediate response. Prepare yourselves physically and mentally. And don't forget the fate of him of our rise on this battle. The enemy's conspiracy could end up destroying this village. Huh? We'll never let that happen. We'll never see how the enemy will react. We will become demons or serpents. Meep. Maybe they'll become kittens. Ho, how cute of them. I don't think so. Something huge will happen for sure. This is like a little earthquake, one that's a forewarning of a huge tsunami. You're right, I felt that little earthquake too, but we'll create that huge tsunami, and either the village or the enemy will be swallowed by it. We'll ride that huge wave for as long as we can. This 40-hour operation will be a shock to the enemy. They'll panic, their face will be up, and they'll guarantee to slip up somehow. We don't know how they're going to slip up, but just knowing that they will, preparing ourselves, gives us a full advantage. We're surrounding our enemies on this huge game board that is in Imazawa. This festival will start our siege. Come on, we're ready. We're ready for the June 19th, 1983. Hey Rika, have this many emotions ever gathered on this day? Actually, there was always this many emotions in this world. There were always countless numbers of them gathered on this forgotten June 19th. We just never realized it because we always looked at the world subjectively. There are so many people in this world, and each of them has a very important emotions. Those countless feelings are collected together and given shape to this world, this fragment. This many emotions, what world will we see? What kind of fragment will we be granted? Who will win, Takano or us? The time to find out is now. Let us open it. Let's open the door to June 19th of 1983. Beep boop. So, is there any tips? I wasn't looking. No? Okay, that's weird. Okay. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.